What's up, guys? So I'm here at a restaurant right now, but I thought I'd come on here and give some free value. For those of you guys who don't know who I am, my name is Washi, and I'm 19 years old. I have a social media marketing agency that consistently makes me around 75K a month. And to be more specific, last month I did 74K. And for those of you guys who don't believe me, I am actually 19 years old. I turned 19 pretty recently here, around like a week ago. I don't know if you guys see my ID, but my birthday is December 22nd, 2006. Yeah, I was 18 not too long ago. Now, before I reveal information that people sell for thousands of dollars, I need to tell you this very, very clearly. If you need animations, loud as fuck music, a bunch of edits that spike your dopamine constantly to watch this video, click away. This video genuinely is not for you. This will be literally the most boring video you ever watch, but it might change your life because I am going to show you guys today the exact business model that I'm using to make 70K a month consistently at 19 years old. This will be the same exact information that you pay $10,000 for on a random fucking course that some guru is trying to sell you. This is the same information that you're gonna find in private conversations that I've had at masterminds with fucking multi-millionaires, almost billionaires. This is the same information that no one will ever share to you, that people are just gonna tell you, hey, just run an agency, but they're never gonna show you exactly how to. This is the exact same information. I'm gonna show you guys deep dive on the exact business model that I run, steps A to Z on how to set it up, learn it, run it, and actually sign your first client and make money. I'll break everything down literally step by step on a digital whiteboard so it's impossible to misunderstand. So here's a quick explanation on how the business model works. So let's start with the fact this is not a get rich quick scheme. We are running ads for local service businesses. And the beautiful thing about local service businesses, especially the type of businesses that we work with, which are specifically construction companies. So companies that do things like they put on roofs for homeowners, or they remodel kitchens, they remodel bathrooms, things like that. AI cannot replace those kind of companies. They will be around forever until the robots come around. So they will always be in business, they will always need advertising, and they will always need more work. So all we do is we come into place, we run ads for them, they pay us $2,000, $3,000 a month. And it's not just a one-time payment like on drop shipping, you sell a supplement, you sell some bullshit product, and they pay, $50. It's not just a one-time sort of thing. Once you sign a client, they're with you forever if you can actually run good ads and actually get them more business. And the amazing thing about construction companies is, for example, a roofer, if you bring them a couple more jobs, that's pretty easy to do. You can bring them 3 jobs every month. Each job is valued at around $15,000. So if you can get them 3 jobs, now they've made $45,000 every single month. And $45,000 compared to the $2,000, $3,000 that they pay you every single month is very, very insignificant to how much they're making in return. So it's a business that's always gonna stay around, and running the ads is pretty simple. We will teach you exactly how to do that, but all you have to do is just run ads for them and they're gonna make a bunch of money. And it's that simple. And they just pay you a small amount of whatever you're making them extra. And you get to keep them for life as long as you can fulfill for them, which is pretty easy, and you won't lose them. And that's it. If you want to make 10K a month, just sign 4 or 5 clients. That's it. And you just get to keep them. It's like 10K a month forever. It just keeps coming in every single month. It's that simple. So let me start with a really in-depth explanation on kind of what I'm doing to make 70K a month and why I'm going to be making 70K a month literally forever without needing to sign another client at 19 years old.
I'm just going to start this by saying SMA is the business model to start if you're a beginner and you don't have much money, because you can get to 100K a month by yourself with just a computer without managing a bunch of people, a huge team. And honestly, it doesn't really take that much time to do. So just to break down what an SMMA really is, how it works. Every single business in the world has an issue. They need customers. Without customers, you're not gonna make any money. There's no sales, you can't run a business. A restaurant without customers, it's just a kitchen. A gym without customers is just equipment. A construction company without customers is just tools. Customers are oxygen to a business. And now here's the really, really important part. Most businesses are bad at getting customers using the internet. And that's exactly where an SMMA comes into place. An SMMA just stands for a social media marketing agency, but forget the fancy name. You basically just help businesses get more customers using the internet, and they pay you every single month for it. You're not selling products, you're not shipping boxes, you're not creating some complicated app, you're just providing a service. For example, imagine this. There's a man, he owns a pizza shop, he makes really, really good pizza, but nobody knows about his shop. And you come to him and tell him, hey, I can bring hungry people to your pizza shop. You run ads on Facebook and Instagram, and people see the ad, they come and they buy the pizza. The pizza owner is very happy, so he pays you every single month to keep doing it. That's literally just an SMMA. It's very, very simple. Now, let's use a very real example. Me and my partner and our whole team works with the construction niche. So for example, a roofing company, to build a roof in America, it's around $10,000. Sometimes it can be $20,000+. It's a lot of money. But here's the issue. These roofing companies, the owners, they don't have time to learn ads. They don't have time to learn the social media, learn Facebook, learn Instagram. They're too busy just building roofs and managing their team. So this is exactly where we come in. We agree on a partnership with the roofer. He pays us anywhere from 2.5 to 10 grand, and we create the ads that work best for roofing. We bring this roofer leads, which all that means is potential clients, and he converts them into jobs. And so whenever a roofer gets a sale from these leads that we produce him, our service is delivered. So let's just break down the numbers. Let's say in 1 month you generate 20 potential roofing clients, right? Leads. 5 of them don't buy, but 15 of them turn into real clients. Each job, let's just say it's worth $10,000, which is actually on the lower end. 15 times $10,000 is $150,000 generated for the roofing company. And now the roofer pays you $2.5 to $10,000 a month. They will never cancel on you, right? Because they pay you $2.5 to $10,000 a month, but they're making $150,000 every single month. And that's exactly why the SMMA business model works. It's not some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a real marketing company, right? You send invoices, you use contracts, you have monthly reports, you show the number of leads that you're getting for your clients, you show the cost per lead, you show the return on investment, the ROI. Business, understand numbers, and SMMA is fully based on numbers. Now, how do I start an SMMA and what are the steps? So the first step is just pick a niche. I recommend picking something that's high ticket and delivering on the service is very easy. And in the example that was used, roofing, and I also think kitchen and bathroom remodeling is really good. And the reason why is because they're high ticket, so which means every single job that a roofer or a remodeling company closes is going to be worth at least $10,000. So you can charge them a lot more because the return on investment that they get is very high. And the fulfillment is very easy. So all that means is I can get them a lot of jobs very easily just because there's not that many other marketing companies that are running ads for these type of companies. So the next thing is getting clients. So getting clients is actually one of the easiest things. It's literally just numbers. The first thing you're gonna do is go to Google Maps and get a bunch of leads. So let's just say you decided you're gonna work with only roofing companies. You're going to go to Google Maps. You're gonna use a lead scraper that scrapes leads off of Google Maps. So you're gonna get thousands of roofers across the US, across wherever that you're decided to target. I would recommend the US. You're gonna find their information, their company name, their email, their phone number, their website. You're gonna scrape all that information for each roofing company. You're gonna scrape about thousands of roofing companies every single day, and you're gonna get a list of their information. Then you're gonna send a cold message to each roofer, about 1,000 roofers every single day, right? So you do 1,000 roofers a day, send them a cold message, something that makes them interested. For example, hey, I'm looking to partner up with 3 roofers in your state, and I can guarantee you an extra 3 jobs a month. That's just an example, right? And you send that same message to 1,000 roofers every single day using a Go High level automation. Then approximately 5% of them will respond. So as you can see here, for example, 5% of them will give you a positive response, right? So this is a script that we sent. We sent a message to this random company, Prestige Home Building LLC, and they responded with a yes. So then all you do is you call that positive reply and then you schedule them for a sales call, okay? But 50% of those positive replies will pick up the phone. Not all of them will pick up the phone. Only half of them will pick up the phone, right? So out of those 1,000 messages that you sent, you'll be on the phone with approximately, give or take, 25 roofing companies. And out of 25 of those roofing companies, you'll schedule about 10 of those for sales calls. So as you guys can see here, this is an example of a calendar day for me with a bunch of sales calls that I scheduled doing this. And 5 out of the 10 sales calls that you schedule will show up and will actually be there ready for you to close into a client. And give or take, 1 of them out of those 5 sales calls that show up, you will close into a legitimate paying client that pays you anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 a month. Now here's the next steps, the sales. You're probably wondering, okay, well, I'm on a sales call, how do I close this person? So sales process is actually very simple. You're on the call and you need to do the discovery phase with the prospect. And all that means is you just ask the prospect questions, get an understanding of where they're at with their business, how much money are they making, right? What are their struggles? What's stopping them from making a lot of money? And usually it's gonna be that they just don't have enough customers. Most of these people will already have systems in place to get the jobs done, to manage all of those jobs, and to have someone meet up with these potential customers and close them for jobs. Once you get all of the information from them, you make it seem like it's a very personalized sort of experience, right? You wanna make them feel like you are there consulting them. Then you show them the system. So you show them potential ads that you've run before, right? You can even make them up. You can just get ChatGPT to make up some ads. You can just show it to them. These are ads that work for my clients. And yeah, you just show it to them and then you explain to them why these ads work. And that's a system demo. Then after that, you do a temperature check, okay? And what all this means is after you show them the system, after you've kind of consulted them and gotten some information from them on how, like where exactly their business is at, you basically just get an idea of like how they're feeling about what exactly you've presented them and kind of understand where their head's at in terms of potentially working with you, right? So what I'll do is I'll ask them, look man, on the scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling about like everything that I showed you? Do you think this is gonna get you from point A to Z with the business, right? And you ask them to rate that on a scale of 1 to 10. And usually if you do everything correctly, they'll give you anywhere from an 8 to a 10. But if they don't give you that, or actually regardless regardless of what score they give you, you want to ask them, let's say they gave you an 8. Well, why did you give me an 8? And they'll tell you all the reasons they gave you an 8. They'll kind of talk themselves into why they want to work with you, right? Because an 8 is a pretty good score. But then now you'll ask them, okay, well, why an 8? Why not an 10, right? And that's where you're going to get all of the potential holdbacks, right? All the potential reasons why they wouldn't want to work with you. They'll tell you right then and there. And that's when you're going to handle those potential objections. An objection is simply just a reason why they wouldn't want to work with you. You just handle that then and there before you get to explaining the pricing. Now, when you explain the pricing, you've kind of already handled and dealt with all the potential reasons why they wouldn't want to work with you. And now when you explain the price, they should have basically no issues when it comes to paying you and wanting to work with you. The pricing, it really depends on what their goals are, but you can start on the lower end and just charge them $2,500 a month to run their ads. It's pretty simple. Once you explain the pricing structure, they might have some more holdbacks, some other reasons why they might not want to work with you. You can just explain it then and there. You can handle those objections. Sometimes they'll tell you, I need to think about it, I need to talk to my wife. You can handle those objections and then receive the payment. But if you did everything correctly beforehand, most of the time you won't even really get any objections after you explain the price. They're just going to be like, okay, cool, let's get started. You get started, you get the payment, you send them an invoice, and you get the payment. This, for example, is from 2 days ago. This is a screenshot on my notification center from a few days ago. I literally made a little bit over $5,000 that day, and then you can see I made 2.6K 2 days before, and then the day before that, I made $8,500. In that week, I think I made like 15K or something like that. And this was quite recent. So once you receive the payment, then you need to onboard the client, right? So this will be a separate call. You hop on a Zoom call, you have the client fill out an onboarding form, you're on the Zoom call, then you just simply get access to your Facebook's business page on Facebook. And as you can see here, I'll just show this right here. This is a screenshot real quick of me on an onboarding call with a client. I just blocked out some information of the client, but this is me basically getting access to his Facebook. He's creating an ad account on the Facebook business account. So you do that, then you set up your client on Go High Level, which is literally just a simple CRM. CRM is basically a client relations manager. You just get them set up on the software. It's pretty simple. You just look up Go High Level and you get them set up there. Then you need to fulfill for the client, right? You need to actually get them results. You need to actually make the money so they continue paying you. So once you have access to their Facebook account and their Facebook page, you create a lead generation campaign, right? And all that means is a campaign where you can create ads under that campaign and then you can get leads. And what a lead is basically a potential customer for your client. So as you guys can see in the snippet here, this is just one of my clients. Made him 480 leads and $22 per lead on Facebook. And this client has paid me well over 20K so far working with him. Then once you create the campaign, you're gonna go to your client's Facebook page, find pictures of the client, potential projects that they've done, use those pictures, save those pictures in a Google Drive file or something like that, and then go to ChatGPT and just prompt ChatGPT to give you ad copies and headlines. And all this just means is in an ad, you'll have a picture or a video maybe, and then there'll be a text outside of that, which is called the primary text and the headline. And that basically makes up the ad copy. So you create the ad copy using ChatGPT. And if you have a roofing client, you just ask them best ad copies for roofing, and then it'll just give you a list of ad copies that you can mess around with. And then you have those ad copies and then the pictures. You go into the campaign, you create an ad within that campaign where you can create many ads, and then you upload it. So you get the picture, use the ad copy. I'm not gonna leak my client on here, but you can see I got a bunch of likes. This client was getting a lot of leads. And then once you create the ads, you basically funnel any sort of traffic into a high converting landing page. You create the landing page in Go High Level, which is the CRM. You create it under your client's account in Go High Level, right? You make them an account. And this is an example of a high converting landing page that I've used for my client. Basically, let's just say you're running the ad, right? You see this ad right here. You're running this ad. Someone in your client's area sees this ad. They click, for example, get quote, because they're interested in getting a roof from your client. They want to know how much it costs, and they click the get quote button. Then they get taken to this landing page. You funnel that traffic of people who are interested to this landing page. They fill out the survey, they submit their information, and then your client gets that information via an automation that you set up in the CRM, which is Go High Level, right? You set up an automation for once the potential client for your client, which is called a lead, right? A potential client is just a lead. Once that lead fills out their information, that information gets directly sent to your client via text and email. And you can set that up to be automated, and all your client has to do is call that lead, schedule them for an appointment, and then go and close the deal. So here's the next step, client retention. This is really important. If you cannot retain clients, you cannot keep clients, you're gonna be stuck in the process of just keep on having to do more and more outreach and sign more and more clients because you keep losing them. So I'm able to just relax sometimes and just not do that much outreach and still be making a lot of money because these clients are paying me every single month. So I sign them once, they're paying me every single month. So that's why client retention is very important. So you wanna make sure that you're calling your client once a week. Once a week, you wanna check up with them, make sure that everything's going well, make sure that the leads are good, the leads are buying, that they're closing jobs. Because at the end of the day, if your client's not closing jobs, you're not making any money because they're not making any money for your services. So your services have to make your client more money than they pay you. Otherwise, it's not a fair deal. So make sure that they're happy. happy. Make sure that you check the ads at least once a week and that everything's going good and that you're getting a lot of leads and that your client's closing jobs. If you just set up the ads and launch the campaign and then just let it sit there for months on end without doing anything, you might just stop getting leads. It can happen. Although, if you're doing the ads correctly, they can last like 3+ months, honestly. I've had several clients where I just set them up, I forget about them for many months. Although I keep making sure that I call them and make sure that they're happy. And as long as they're happy, I just let things go the way they are. And the second I hear a little bit of complaining or whatever, then I go in there, make some edits, and then keep things going, right? Make some adjustments and make sure that they're happy. And yeah, if your clients are making more money than they pay you, you will retain them. Impossible that you don't retain them. Now, this is the free money hack, is getting referrals. So let's say you have a roofing client. Your roofing client, you're getting them 15 jobs a month. Each job is $10,000. You're making them $150,000 a month in added revenue, and he's just paying you, let's just say $5,000 a month. He's spending $5,000 a month and making $150,000 a month in return, which is obviously a very good ROI, which is just return on investment. So now your client has buddies, right? He has friends. Roofers always know other roofers. They have other roofing friends, maybe in different markets, maybe in different areas. And what you can do is have your client refer you to their friends, right? You can give your client a bit of a commission to do so, and they will 100% do it. And if you have, let's just say 10 happy clients that are making a lot of money in return, each of them will have 10 other friends that are running a roofing company or some other remodeling company, basically a service-based business that they can refer you to. And now you've gotten an exponential amount of clients that are paying you without doing any extra outreach. That's how I've been able to sustain my agency for the last few months without doing too much outreach, with mostly just chilling. I don't really have a big team at all. I mostly just run this thing solo, and I work maybe 3 hours a day. And that's just because I have clients giving me referrals. So if I lose maybe 1 or 2 clients, which is very good, I have a 15% churn rate, which is incredibly low compared to most agencies. Most agencies are losing 30-40% of their clients every single month. All I need is just a couple of referrals every single month to maintain or grow my agency. So I haven't had to really take any sales calls or send any messages to roofing companies or anything like that. I just get paying clients without doing any work. So boys, that's exactly how you run an agency. It's quite simple. You literally just follow these steps and I promise you, you'll make money. It's very simple, to be honest. It's really not that difficult. People like to overcomplicate things that are very simple.
At this point, you've seen everything. You've seen the system, you've seen how the business works, you've seen how you could be making $10,000 a month within the first couple months. You've seen how I'm making $70,000 a month consistently from this business. I showed you guys literally everything. Nothing was hidden, nothing was teased. If you were serious, you could use this video and sign your first client tomorrow and start making $10,000 a month. But this is the truth that most people won't tell you. Information is not what stops most people from getting started and making their first amount of money. Fear does. Fear of starting, fear of something not working out, fear of my situation's different from other people's who are successful, fear of messing things up. And that's exactly where most people will get stuck. And it's not because they don't know what to do, but it's because they don't know how to apply the information to their specific situation, which is exactly why we created our mentorship. And it's not because they don't know what to do, it's because they don't know how to apply that information to their specific situation, which is why we created our mentorship. It's not because there isn't free information out there, but it's because mentors and guidance is exactly what creates results. In our private community, I will hold your hand and walk you through each baby step of building your own agency, signing your first client, doing the fulfillment, and I will allow you to use the knowledge I've shared here today and teach you exactly how to apply it to your situation so you can sign your first client immediately and start making money. And the thing is, we won't stop until you make at least $15,000 from your agency. And if you don't, we will 100% refund you everything. Not a single penny goes missing. Now, I want to be very clear. This is not for everyone. If you don't have the hunger for success, no mentorship will help you. If you're not ready to work, no system will save you. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a real business, a real system, and something you build every single solitary day. But if you know you're hungry and you're ready to take the time and do whatever it takes to reach your goals, and you have the budget to invest in yourself, then I want to talk to you personally. Book a call with me using the link in the description. On that call, we'll see where exactly you're at, what your goals are, where you want to reach, and if you're even a good fit for the program. I'll invite you onto our team, and once you join, you will get a daily live coaching call with the full community and my business partner. Access to dozens of recordings, sales calls, setting calls, service delivery, outreach, and mindset. You'll get 24/7 access to me or my partner whenever you're stuck, and we respond within a few hours. And the most important part is you get access to the most powerful environment, which is our private community, our private group chat with over 45 members who are on average making anywhere from 5 to over 65K a month. And the average member is making around $13,000 per month. We don't just work online, we meet in real life. We met in Dubai, Europe, Miami. We rent villas, cars, we drive sports cars, we work together, and we push together. And most people actually have their best months right at this meetup because the energy, the focus, and the execution level is completely different. This is real work with real people building real businesses.